So in today's video, I'm going to discuss about the topic that you have decided to do a bachelor's degree in technology and you now want to select your institute. So now you probably know that there are various competitive exams out there to get into these institutes, and these examinations are at the national level and also sometime at the state level. Now, typically the top institutes which people want to get into are the Indian Institute of Technologies. Then you have the NITs, which are the National Institute of Technologies. Then you have the triple ITs, which are primarily focused on computers. And then you have a plethora of colleges around the country, which essentially give you BTech degrees in the various technology disciplines. And I would classify these as primarily private colleges, but there are also government colleges in this regard. Now, of course, if you have given the JEE exam and you have got a decent rank, then you can qualify for some of these national seats. If you have a choice, then I think there are a few things to keep in mind. So I'm going to discuss some of the few possibilities which are there and how to go for them. Now, I would say that the more important fact in selecting a college is the major. And what people mistake is they only go for rank and they only go for reputation of the institution, but actually it's a very complex decision theoretic problem. You have to make a trade-off between the rank of the institute, the reputation of the institute, and the major which you are getting, because in the longer run you will find that your major is going to be more important, because you can do a BTech from a institute, and if your major is not marketable, or more importantly something which does not at all gel with you, then you are going to have a very sad life. Because in general, careers are path dependent to some extent, and if you make a decision, for example, of studying mining, then you better make sure that you are very interested in this career, because there are 4 years of your life which are spent in deep study of a certain discipline, and you also don't want to waste this seat which you have obtained in doing a discipline which you are not interested in. Now, there are many people who may be wanting to study mechanical engineering, but maybe they'll end up in material science, and maybe this doesn't gel with them. Maybe you want to study computer science, and maybe the discipline you got is chemical. Now, these are two quite disparate fields of knowledge, and so they are going to be quite different. Maybe you wanted to study mechanical and you got chemistry for the master's program, MSc program, and therefore you need to keep in mind as to whether you are willing to make these particular changes. Now, there are some people who are generally good in all areas of the field and who are also fine with different branches of study, because they probably want to go on and do further study in masters and PhD and become a scientist. But for most people who want to take a job after the BTech, this may be the terminal degree of their life and they need to be very careful. Now, when you look at these institutes, there are certain things to keep in mind beside the major, and that is whether the institutes are old, established, classical institutes, or they are new institutes which have come up, which may not have proper infrastructure, lab facilities, hostels, and even faculty, because some of the new institutes which have come up have neophyte faculty who have just come out of PhD programs, and these people may not have a lot of experience. Whereas if you go to an established university, you will get a blend of largely senior faculty who have been teaching courses for decades, and then a few young faculty who are at the top of the research fields. So this is how you can make a distinction between the old and the new institutes. Now, I would say that let us go through these institutes one by one. So let us start with the IITs. Now, there are several of these institutes in the country today. Many are new, some are old and established. So again, here the choice would largely be for an old and established institute, unless you have got a better discipline in a newer institute. In that case, you can go for a newer institute. I would say make a comparison of the infrastructure and faculty at the different institutes. So these are some of the aspects you can find from the web pages of the university, from the departments, and also from the grapevine by talking to different people. And this is very important because if you are in an experimental major and you land up in an institute which has very weak infrastructure facilities, you may find that your preparation is very weak in terms of different courses and you may regret this later. Similarly, with the faculty, you don't want a situation where there are faculty from a nearby discipline who are actually teaching courses in a particular discipline. And this is sometimes the case because faculty are commandeered to teach courses in a certain discipline. So there may be faculty from mathematics department who are told to teach courses in computer science, and you may get a very theoretical perspective of computer science from these faculty. So these are certain things to keep in mind. Again, a good way to know this is from the web page of the institute and also by consulting senior students and so on. Now let us consider the next set of institute, which are the NITs. And here also there are new and established institutions. And the established institutions in this field have excellent faculty and good infrastructure. The newer institutions are still climbing up the ladder in terms of both these aspects. Now, one of the things which I have found in my interaction with students from these institutes is that they tend to be as good in their training as the students from the more famous or notorious IITs. But also, the NIT students have a lower level of ego and pride, and therefore they are able to work better in many organizational settings, in many research settings, and so on. And the humility of these students helps them to actually succeed more in life. Now, if you come to the triple ITs, here I would say the mojo for these institutes is that the field of work or the field of research or departments on which they focus are highly marketable. These institutes are also largely focused on applied work. So, in contrast to very theoretical training, you are largely likely to get a training which is very practical in nature in terms of computer languages, in terms of various softwares, in terms of aspects of software engineering, and so on. And also, you may get good training in terms of machine learning and some of these new fields. So, these are also institutes you can look for. Now, engineering colleges have come up throughout the country, and these are both in the private and public domains. Now, here I would again say that the older colleges which have been established for a decade or more are typically better because they have well-trained faculty as well as infrastructure. Now, when you are coming to private engineering colleges, you need to be very careful about these colleges because many of them are profit-seeking institutions. Now, there is nothing wrong with that if they are also providing good value for money. But sometimes these institutes may give a very rosy picture in terms of the infrastructure and the facilities and the faculty. And the reality may be that many of these faculties who are presented on the web page are only part-time, and the infrastructure is also something which is not up to the mark when you actually land up at the university. So a good way is to go by the reputation of these colleges, and there are several colleges throughout the country which are actually very good. And again, the best way to know it is from the seniors and from people who you have heard of, and also from the placement of the students who have come out from these particular colleges. So you will find that there are many highly placed CEOs and so on who have come out from some of these private colleges, and therefore these colleges have now become very good. Now, one of the advantages I see from private colleges is that they are quite rigid in structure and discipline, and therefore they are able to extract the maximum from a normal student. And this is something which is very interesting because in many cases a normal student needs some level of discipline and cajoling to study, whereas the person who is very high on the intelligence scale may actually be able to manage with very less amount of work. And this also leads them to develop a sense of pride which can come in the way for their future growth. So you find that many cases the engineering college students actually through the dint of their hard work and effort will become better than many of the students who are from the established institute in the long run. So if you see people who have graduated a decade or so before, you will find that more and more people from these engineering colleges are today manning most of the institutions in the country, both in the private and the public sector. Now, a tertiary issue to keep in mind, beside this old and new institutes and the infrastructure and so on, is whether these institutes are located near or in some metro place or near tech hubs and so on. So, this has a huge impact on the institutes, and this is not something which is clear to the students. But when you are typically studying in an engineering area, if you are able to do internships in your third year or second year in some company or in some software firm, then it greatly boosts your CV as well as your learning. So this is something to keep in mind, is that if your engineering college or institutes are based near cities like Bangalore, Delhi, Bombay, you have a plethora of possibilities in terms of taking part in different internship, taking part in various events organized by the companies, and also attending some conferences every now and then. Your faculty are also likely to be quite close to these different industries and so on through their consulting projects and through their network, and this may help you also in getting a job. Now, finally, I would say that geographical location is also something to consider. There are different parts of the country which are strong in certain things. So the south of India is stronger in computational work, west of India is more strong in manufacturing and so on. Again, if you are particularly inclined to a certain field, you may want to go in that direction. So for example, the east of India will be better in terms of metal, steel, coal and so on. So again, if you are in these areas, then remember that the companies typically come for placement to nearby institutes. And especially the smaller private sector companies are not going to go very far and look for graduates. So they are likely to interview very near to where they are. So if they are in Bangalore, they are probably going to go to the engineering colleges in Bangalore rather than to some established institutes far away in Delhi or Calcutta or so on. So this is something which becomes very important in reality, is that your location creates a huge impact in terms of your getting jobs. And you see that many of these engineering college people are placed very well because of their location. So these are some concepts I had for you today. Just to summarize, major is most important, your discipline. Keep discipline in mind and balance it with the rank and reputation of the institute. Look for old and new institutes. Prefer the old institutes if you can. In most cases, it is better if you are near metros and all, especially if you are looking for a job directly after your BTech. You want to be in a proximity of large centers or clusters of companies and so on. And also, you may want to factor in the cost of living, the cost and tuition of the places, how far they are from your home, and some of these aspects, because these become important when you start living at the university, because you may be only 17 or 18 years of age and you are going to the particular institute, and then during different breaks, during vacations, it becomes very difficult to go if you are very far away, and you may need to pay airfare in that case. But in case you are very close, you are just a train ride or just a bus ride off from your home, and this becomes a very positive thing in the case of many. So these are some of the concepts I had for you regarding choosing different engineering colleges in the country, and if this video was useful to you, stay tuned to my channel for more such videos. Thank you very much.